Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Adriana, and on this channel I talk to you guys about my happiness, my health journey, and just my overall healing. I've been doing some inner child healing, which has really been allowing me to excel in life and be a better person and just show up in the world way more confident. So if this is something you think you would be interested in, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I post more content. Now in today's video, this is going to be a rather interesting video because we're going to be talking about identifying who you are. I know a lot of people say, ask your family, your friends, who you are, but there comes a time in life where you have to know who you are, and you don't need to go to other people to know who you are, because you evolve and you change and you're there from the time that you're born until the time that you die. So let's get into it. Have you ever taken the time to really ask yourself that, like quiet yourself down, unplug from social media, and just take the time to think about who you are? I know that's something that I've done, because as I'm learning myself day in and day out and really just not allowing what other people think of me and certain experiences to define me. Now, it's not because I don't want to hear how I am or that there's maybe no truth to what they're saying, but I realize that I live with myself all the time, and it's important for me to know who I am as opposed to looking for other people to tell me who I am. And a lot of times we are defined by our past experiences and things of that nature, traumas, and we're put in these situations and we're just a result of those situations, which ends up sometimes, I would say, kind of masking who we really are, because a lot of times we're in survival mode, and then you get older and you're constantly in survival mode, but you're trying to evolve with a limited perspective, wounds and everything. So as you begin to heal, and as I'm beginning to heal, I realize I'm like, you know what? I think I need to reintroduce myself, because what people knew me as and how I functioned at one point, that's not the case. I'm reading more. I'm doing inner child healing. I'm meditating. I'm eating better. There's a lot of things that are changing. And I realize that if people don't have conversations with you daily, if you're not vocal in sharing what you're going through, it doesn't matter how much you have changed. Sometimes people can never see you different than they've known you from whenever it is, because they don't want to see it. And that's why I said you have to kind of be careful. And I've learned I had to be careful, because sometimes people will only let me be who they want me to be because that works for them. And a lot of times people will only let you be who they want you to be because they may feel like they have a leg up on you, or they feel less intimidated by you, or they feel like they can tolerate you a lot better when they put you into this box where you're not able to grow, you're not able to heal, and you're not able to evolve. Now, I'm going to share with you guys how I've been able to learn myself a lot better, right? So I did talk about this in another video where I have my birth chart, and that has to do with like when you were born, like where you were born, the time that you were born, AM and PM, and it breaks down your emotions and everything. And it has to do with more like astrology, but it definitely helps me understand myself a lot better. And I used to think there was a lot of things wrong with me, I would say, because I didn't understand who I was. And when you get older, you realize like your parents are going to make you figure out who you are. It's like life's going to be kicking your butt, and you're going to have to figure out how to show up in the world. And so I started looking at my birth chart and understanding why I do certain things the way that I do, why I like to be more dressed down, why I function and think and process the way that I do. And that has helped me, because a lot of the things that I do, sometimes people would put such a negative tone towards it, where it's like, yeah, you don't dress and you don't like to cook and you don't want to do that. You're lazy. And I'm far from lazy. I mean, I love to work. I like to get stuff done. But because of my sign and basically where moons fall and how I function and whatever, that's just very much part of me. And so I've learned to embrace those parts of me and change what is necessary. And that's another thing. When you allow people to give you too much power and too much chit chat about what it is that you should be doing or where you should be, you're basically, like I said, you're giving away your power. You will evolve as long as you continue to educate yourself, as long as you continue to heal, as long as you have the desire to become a better person. But of course, you can't correctly heal yourself and show up in the world when you have the wrong understanding of who you are. And nothing's wrong with being, like, for me, I had to realize nothing's wrong with me wanting to dress down more and just more comfortable. There's nothing wrong that I don't really like to cook, but I will cook. I don't necessarily like to clean, but I will clean. And I realize that that's just who I am in certain areas. And so I've learned to take in, the negative, but then learn to kind of basically compare it. Is this something that is from inner child wounds, or is this just something that this is how I am? Is this something that I need to work on, or is this something that I can basically leave alone? Because again, you're going to come across so many different people, and somebody's going to be offended. Then the other person is going to think it's funny. Then the other person is going to be sad. You can't please everybody. So in this space, in this time, I'm just kind of filtering through in my interactions with people, the things that I need to change, or the things that are just basically how I am. So for example, I'm a really laid back person, but it doesn't mean that I'm lazy. I just have these times where I just like to chill. And even my responses is kind of like, okay. And then so I remember I used to get in trouble because I would be kind of nonchalant about certain stuff, but that's how I am. I'm like, okay, what am I ruffling my feathers for? Why am I getting upset? Why am I doing this? Like, this is just me, but somebody may have put a negative tone or have basically categorized that as negative. Well, why am I being negative, or why is that being negative? Because I'm more laid back, and how I react is a little bit different than somebody else who's more emotional, who could be like a different sign or something like that. So I'm like, you know what? This is why I have to really define who I really am. And it's not something that has been quick. It's not something that's overnight, and I learned to, I'm learning how to become less concerned, because I really am not concerned about what people say, but I realize I try to be a little bit more sensitive to my interactions with certain people. And I realize that out of Christianity, I always talk about this, it's allowing me to be a lot more free to express how I feel, to be how I am, because I know, like, everything that I was like, oh, God won't like this, and Jesus said this, and I'm just like, okay, but that's not me. And first of all, this is how I was made. And of course, past experiences, like I said, they do shape you. Trauma, that can really shape you, make you close down. But I'm really, really at this place, guys, where I love the woman that I'm becoming. I've never been so proud of myself, of all the things that I'm accomplishing. And I'm grateful. Like I always talk about gratitude. I'm so grateful to be in the space of understanding everything that I'm understanding. I'm grateful to be able to improve different areas that I know I want to improve. Like I did a video, and I'll link it as well, just talking about things that I'm working on. Starting in 2020. I'm not waiting for the new year, because I realize that we always change, we always grow, we always evolve. I'm not just trying to be a millionaire. It's like, why not be a several millionaire, or be a billionaire, or a trillionaire? Why do we always want to stop? So it's not like I'm trying to be the best mom or the number one mom in America. I'm just trying to be, the best mom for my child at every age that they need me to be. So I'm still evolving, and I'm not putting a cap on my title. Same thing for being a wife, being a business owner, those things. I'm really just learning to just be expansive, trust in divine timing, improve myself on a daily basis. I intentionally am learning who I am. And I actually printed out my birth chart, and I look at it occasionally, maybe once or twice a week. I'm just reading over it, because it breaks down so much information, even when it comes to how I think. And with me reading it, I'm like, now I can definitely improve on that. And so it allows me to check myself, than so having somebody else have to do that. Because a lot of times we can be in the position to ask people, am I rude? Am I nice? Am I this? Am I that? How about you know yourself enough that you don't necessarily have to ask other people, but don't think it's like you're too prideful or your ego that you don't need people to tell you. But you really shouldn't need people to tell you who you are, because you know your mind, your thoughts, everything. That's you 24/7. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you have anything you want to talk about, say, put it in the comments, and make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Love and light.